So why Nice? So I think the question, first of all, might be why France? And France, oftentimes people are thinking of London or Frankfurt or Hong Kong or Singapore as financial centers. But when we look about learning finance and masters in finance, France has the top 5 schools in the Financial Times Masters in Finance, and EDHEC has consistently been amongst these schools. So I think first choice, why come to France, and then why come to Nice? Well, besides the ecosystem that EDHEC we have on our campus, Nice is a wonderful place to live and to study. We're 5 minutes from the airport. We're based on the Promenade des Anglais, looking right out to the sea. And in the other direction, you have the Alps and the mountains just behind us. Studying finance is a very difficult endeavor. It takes a lot of concentration, and balancing that with a healthy lifestyle, loads of opportunities for outdoor sports and movement and cultural activity with Italy, Monaco, and Cannes also just next door. I think it's a fantastic place to come and study finance. What top-rank programs of finance really need to make them stand out and thrive with excellence is a strong combination of strong academic foundation, so having access to the best researchers in finance, as well as a large impact and contribution from practitioners, so that when the students graduate, they not only have this base of solid academic grounding, but they're also industry ready and industry relevant as soon as they begin. The specializations that we've chosen are really in line with where we see the industry moving. We want our students to be industry ready at graduation. So they can choose amongst a wide portfolio of specializations, accounting and finance, financial engineering with a very strong impetus on data science, on private equity, on decentralized finance, all areas where the industry is moving. We also have a large number of students who are interested in corporate finance. That remains a very big field, and we have strong partnerships also with the industry along those axes. And just recently we've chosen a new specialization. It's a double degree that we developed with Mines Paris PSL on climate change and sustainable finance. And that's really to prepare our students to be the leaders in not only how is climate impacting the financial industry, but how can the financial industry work together to solve some of the climate problems that we're facing. To prepare our students to be industry relevant and industry ready, we integrate regularly into our curriculum leading edge topics that are going to be relevant today, tomorrow, and even moving forward. And we want our students to develop curiosity about those and other axes so that they're ready to constantly learn in this accelerating and changing environment. In our Master of Management program, we begin in the very first year with a course from climate science to climate finance, so that they're introduced to some of the big stakes and issues in the changing climate. We also introduce them to fintech and to entrepreneurial finance and decentralized finance, and these are 2 areas that are growing massively in the industry. Part of our overall strategy in the school is to be an absolute leader in finance, not only in academia. We're amongst the top 5 business schools with Master in Finance programs, but also in industry. That's a trademark of EDHEC for years, is that our research institutes are industry relevant. In fact, we've even sold a company based on our professors' research in indices. So in our classrooms, we want to make sure that we have a very strong synergy between the academic world and the practitioner world. Many of the professors that are teaching in our programs are academics, but they're working with industry professionals and may have also been industry professionals themselves. Likewise, the practitioners who come, they're coming because they want to share what's happening today in the industry with our students. In our classrooms, we have some of our academic researchers, such as Irene Monasterolo, who worked with COP27 and also just recently won the Best Young Researcher Prize from the Banque de France. She works with other colleagues, Mirko Rubin, Gianfranco Frate, who are experts in the area of econometrics in green finance. We also have in our classrooms people such as Dominique O'Kane. Dominique has a long history in the industry. He was very involved at the beginning of derivatives and has in fact been an expert witness in trying to work through derivatives contracts that through the Lehman Brothers fallout. So he's a real expert both in industry and in academia. In addition to researches in climate climate finance and climate change, we of course have researchers in corporate finance and financial markets, experts in derivatives and portfolio. One of the students' absolute favorite professors is Amin Boustani Farha. He just recently published in the Financial Analyst Journal about employee satisfaction and long-run stock returns. So it's at the same time industry relevant, but also subjects that are impacting the future of work today, which is very much more oriented toward employee satisfaction. And our students work together with these professors and with our research institutes. EDHEC made the choice about 20 years ago to really focus our financial industry and our financial programs here on our Nice campus. So our EDHEC Risk Institute was housed here. Our EDHEC Risk Climate Impact Institute is housed here in Nice. Our career center oriented to finance is here, and our Masters in Finance programs, as well as our PhD program, are also housed here. So we have a really strong ecosystem of a multitude of actors working in the financial industry and academia based here on our campus. What does it mean to make an impact in the financial industry? And after the financial crisis, finance had a bit of a bad name for a while, but finance is at the heart of the economic world. This is what makes companies evolve. The financing that they need is what makes changes in our world. In fact, in terms of solving some of our big global problems right now, we're actually going to need significant amounts of financing and allocating the wealth and the assets that we have in directions that will promote a more ecological transition and a more sustainable society. So in terms of attracting students to the financial industry, our ethos is that we want you to come learn about finance and learn how you can actually use finance to have a positive impact on the economic world and on society. On an institutional level, part of our strategy is to develop hybrid competencies in our students. So in particular in the area of finance, we've chosen to partner with some of the best institutions locally here. For example, with the Université Côte d'Azur, we have our students who are able to do their Masters in Finance and at the same time do a Masters in Applied Mathematics. That joint mathematics and finance background is particularly attractive to the industry. As another example, we're partners with EDHEC. They're based here in Sofia Antipolis. They're an engineering school with areas of expertise in data science and Internet of Things and systems engineering. And we've developed a double degree with them, notably that data science and finance combination as well is extremely interesting. These days we hear about Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and other big players, as well as many small players, becoming technology and finance companies. In addition, with EDHEC, we've built a new incubator. EDHEC has a strong entrepreneurial history. We have incubators in Station F, in Lille, and here in Nice. This new incubator is called Tech Forward. So it's there to support students and our alumni, even a few years out, who may want to create entrepreneurial projects in the fintech space. And we'll put together people with the technological background and the financial background, and some of our students will have both, and support them in their creation of their companies. And lastly, another example is with Mines Paris PSL. We created 2 years ago a double degree with them in climate change and sustainable finance, where on their side they're really looking at the science behind the ecological transition and making sure our students integrate that. And on our side, we work on all the courses that have to do with finance and how can we use finance to have a positive impact on climate change and to reduce the impact of climate change. And we're seeing the first cohort graduated last year, and they have been grabbed up immediately by the industry, both financial industry and consulting, because there are insufficient numbers of people out there who have that double competency for now. So we expect that to grow in the future. I think all industries are changing, and this younger generation has a much heightened sensitivity to and awareness of ethical considerations, environmental impact, and this is true across all industries, all functions. In particular, finance did not historically have a particularly strong reputation in some of these areas. 20 years ago, working in environmental ESG measures was very niche. Today, it's an integral part of all of our programs. After the financial crisis, there was a real shift across financial education to incorporate much more ethics and go way beyond compliance to conduct. So it's no longer about what can you do, but what should you do in the industry. And that's a message that we really try to get across to our students throughout the entire program. So what are we looking for in students who come to us, and what are we expecting them to bring? Anyone who joins EDHEC, part of our selection process is we expect them to be an active, proactive member of our community, not just today, but long term. Particularly in finance, we want students who will come and join us who are ready to challenge themselves, who are ready to challenge the current practices that are going on in industry, and ready to learn and be creative, looking for new ways of changing the industry in a positive way. That's part of our ethos, is make an impact. We could add an adjective and say make a positive impact.